don't know what to say. I don't know where to begin. I wish to goodness that I'd spoken to her the other evening when she told me they were going away for the summer. Instead, I've gone and left everything to the last minute, and now I'm regularly nonplussed. By George, I know what I'll do. I'll write it out a dozen different ways and send whichever one I think looks best. Come on, Jack. Here we are, in love with the dearest girl on earth. Tackle her like a man and tell her so, or she'll be off north, and you'll be gone down to London, and you'll have lost your chance forever. She is my faith, and I shall be hanged if I shan't be hers. So here goes. My darling. It's a bit strong, perhaps, to begin with. My dear Miss Verdun. No, too formal, and not a bit what I really feel. My dear... Hang it, why not? My dear Kitty. That's grand. Now I shall get on like a house on fire. My dear Kitty.
Beg pardon, sir, would you mind?
Yes, very much so. I'm busy. Go away.
Yes, sir, but...
I'm busy with the most important affair. Get out.
Yes, sir.
Just when I was making such a good start, too. My dear Kitty, What are you doing there, Brassett? Confound it all, what do you want?
I merely wish to say, sir, that I have laid out a few
Yes,
things.
all right, thank you.
Things
Very
of which
good.
I thought you wouldn't care to.
Take 'em, keep 'em, take every blessed rag I've got, only get out and don't come back.
Yes.
My dear Kitty.
Beg pardon, sir?
Confound it, I wasn't addressing you. My dear Kitty.
I say.
If you don't clear up, Brassett, Oh! It's you, Charlie, old chap. What is it?
Nothing, Jack. I didn't want to interrupt you if you're busy.
Oh, no, it's only that fool Brassett.
What's he doing?
Only packing my things because I'm going down to London and worrying me like old Harry when I'm trying to write a most important letter. But don't mind me today, I'm nervous and snaggy and nonplussed.
And so am I, Jack.
Why?
I've been trying to write a letter too.
A letter? To whom?
To Miss Spettigue.
Ah. How far have you got?
I began awfully well, but I didn't want to be too distant, and I didn't like to be too...
Familiar? Well?
So I just said, my dear Amy. And then words failed me. So I've come to you for advice. You always know what to say and do.
I do? I do.
You know my idiotic complaint. I'm shy. You're not.
I'm not. I'm not.
So prescribe for me, old chap. What am I to say?
Well. Oh, there's an idea. I'll prescribe for him and take the medicine myself. Well then, you are in love with Amy Spettigue and you want to know if there's any hope for you, and if so...
You see, they're all off to Scotland tomorrow.
Yes, I know. Now you want to see her as soon as possible. When and where? Do I diagnose the case accurately?
To a T, old chap.
Well then, you will want to say something to this effect. My dear Kitty.
No, not Kitty. Amy.
Yeah, yes. Of course, what am I thinking of? My dearest Amy. Forgive me, darling, for thus addressing you, but I love you so deeply.
Rather strong, Jack.
Shut up! So earnestly.
Oh, I say.
That I must write and tell you so. All I ask
But
is
there's
that...
one obstacle to my putting it quite as straight as that.
And what
As
is
much
it?
as I'd like to.
What is that?
Well, I've an aunt.
My dear Charlie, most of us do. What about her?
I feel I ought to tell her first.
If you're going to drag an aunt into the business, we may as well wait until they're back from Scotland.
Why?
You know what auntie is when she gets involved.
No, that's just it. I don't know her. I haven't even seen her.
Well, we won't be too hard on that aunt. She hasn't interfered much in your affairs until now.
Except to find out that I was an orphan and have me sent to Eton and to Oxford. And now my guardian writes to me that she's coming here this morning on an early train and will take luncheon with me at 1 o'clock.
And you never seen her.
No, she went to Brazil before I was born and married a very rich old Brazilian chap out there called Dom Pedro de Alvadores. And now, by the merest accident in the world, I've seen this.
Alright. Madame, or rather Donna Lucia de Alvadores, the Brazilian millionaire, is an Englishwoman of genial disposition and a financial genius. Indeed, it was her capacity in this direction which earned her the gratitude of her late husband and led to a romantic deathbed marriage. Well, I don't see much in that.
Go on, Jack, read the next.
Her only relation and nephew at Oxford. Lucky nephew.
That's me.
My dear Charlie, that's a startler, and she may be here any minute.
I've met all the trains up to now. I wish she'd come some other day.
Ah, well, she'll be here by the next, just in time for lunch.
Yes, I wanted to see Amy and put it to her that if...
Why does that matter?
Well, it's a fearfully complicated letter to write.
Why?
Well, I have no people or anything.
No people, with an aunt like that.
But I have no reason to expect anything from her, more than she's already done for me, for which, of course, I'm grateful and all, but I want to see Amy and put it to her that...
Charlie, I have got a clicking good idea.
Well, write it down, and I'll copy it up.
No, not for you, for me. For both of us. You're in love with Amy, and I'm in love with Kitty.
Really, Jack?
Madly, worse than anything I ever took up. Even cricket. I was trying to write her to tell her so just now. That's the letter.
I'm so glad. And what's your idea?
Hang letter writing. We'll have a luncheon party here for your aunt. Tea afterwards in the garden.
In the garden?
Yes, I'll get leave.
But my rooms are so small.
Never mind, I'll lend you mine. Brassett will see to it. Brassett!
But what about old Penny?
Blow up Spettigue.
I forgot. He's up in town on business for a few days.
But more the better. Brassett!
Do you think they'll come?
They'll jump at it.
What makes you think so?
What do you think?
Why, Jack? You know, I rather agree with you.
Well then, we'll write the note at once. You write Miss Spettigue. Oh, Brassett, get someone to take a note to old Mrs. Spettige's.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Jack, I've got that.
Would you and Miss Verdun do me the honour
The honour.
of lunching with me and Mr. Chesney?
Mr. Chesney.
I'll address the envelope.
I'll address the...
No, not that, you muff. Today, at his room, St. Old's College, Miss Spettigue.
Miss...
No, look out. To meet my aunt. What was your aunt's name again, John?
Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
Yes, stick that down. An answer by bearer will greatly oblige.
Yours sincerely, Charles Wykeham. Splendid, Jack. You're a genius.
It's a splendid opportunity. They're off to Scotland.
And we're off down to England.
And now we should have them all to ourselves.
The messenger, sir.
Give him that and tell him to look sharp.
Yes, sir.
This sort of thing is not to be settled by correspondence.
And we shall have them all to ourselves.
And we couldn't have done it without your dear old aunt. I'm beginning to love that old lady already. Brassett!
Yes, sir.
Lunch for 5.
For how many, sir?
For 5.
For 5, sir.
What are you laughing at?
Beg pardon, sir. I'm just afraid her credit in the kitchen is somewhat, exhausted.
Oh, is it? How are you up at it, Charlie?
Well, Jack, I'm afraid my guardian's rather...
Oh, is he? Well, never mind. Go outside, Brassett. Go to Bunter's.
Sir, I'm afraid we owe Buntus.
Oh, do we? You don't mind, do you, Charlie? It will be alright when my check comes. Take that, Brassett, and see what you can do.
This is no good, sir. I can't do anything with this, sir. However, sir, I do believe it will be alright at Buntus if I say it's for me.
All right, Brassett. Go where you like, do what you like, only lunch for 5 at 1.
Rather short notice, sir.
All right, long pay. Go where you like, do what you like, only lunch for 5 at 1. That's all right, isn't it, Charlie?
I say, Jack, that's my watch.
Oh. Beg your pardon, old chap. My mistake.
What wine, sir?
Champagne.
Very little left, sir.
Half a dozen bottles.
No, I think not, sir. Only 2, sir.
Oh, quite enough.
6, I'll swear.
No, sir. Only 2, sir. And I think, yes, one of claret.
Hang that claret, it's been open a month. He sneaked those other 2 bottles. He's a corker.
My fellows, just the same.
They all are. And while you're showing your aunt the chapel and cloisters and things, I can have my chat with Kitty.
That's all very well, Jack, but what about Amy and me and our little talk? She'll be in our way horribly.
I never thought of that.
She's all very well as an excuse to get the girl to come here, but by herself, she'll be an awful bore.
Worse than that, she'll be a brute of a nuisance.
What shall we do?
Well, Napoleon went over the Alps on horseback, and I've been under them by train, so there must be a way out of this.
But how? Couldn't we ask someone to meet him?
There's Brassett. He's a pompous sort of chap, and as artful as a corkscrew. Couldn't we dress him up as a dawn or something for today?
Yes, that's a good idea, Jack.
No, we shall lead him to wait the tables.
Oh, of course, so we shall.
There's Freddie Peel.
Oh, he's such a cynical chap.
Yeah, he neglect your aunt.
Yes, and want to make love to our girls.
I got it. Babs. Fanny Babs, we'll ask him.
Oh yes, why didn't we think of him before?
He's a jolly, cheerful little chap. He'll amuse your aunt like the Dickens and keep him in a rattling good humour.
Splendid.
Brassett! Brassett?
Yes, sir.
Go to Lord Fancount Babberly's rooms, give him my compliments, and ask him to come here at once.
Yes, sir.
And say it's very important.
Yes, sir.
And very immediate!
Yes, sir.
And while Babs is doing gooseberry with your aunt, you and I can have our chat with the girls.
By the by, talking of Jack Bab's cheerfulness, haven't you noticed something about him lately, ever since he was so ill and had to go off to the Mediterranean?
I notice it's been jolly hard up.
I fancy, by a few hints he's dropped to me, that he's a bit hard-headed himself.
What? Babs in love!
And if I'm not mistaken, he's as soft-hearted over a girl as...
We are! All the better. He'll feel for us and understand the necessity of keeping the old lady out of the way.
By George, Jack, you'll be Prime Minister one of these days!
His lordship sends his regards and says he can't come. He has a luncheon party, and would you mind lending him a few bottles of champagne?
Lend him a few bottles of champagne? Why, of all the cheek!
Who's he got coming?
Freddie Peel and a lot of other idiots like himself, I expect, and they'll be howling comic songs all afternoon.
It'll sound awfully bad, won't it?
No, he mustn't. Lay for 6, Brassett.
What shall we do?
Well, we will go to his rooms ourselves and make him come. He mustn't upset all our plans in this selfish way. Brassett, put that wine on ice, will you, and tidy up my rooms. Come on, Charlie, come on.
1 o'clock. Put room in order first. Always the way. Hurry, scurry. No time for anything. They come with a bang. They go with a bang. Everything with a bang. Except pay the bills with a bang. Well, I did things the little purpose of the mine was safe. For my word, I did. I say, Jack, old man. Where the dickens are you? I wanted to borrow some fizz. I wonder where they keep it. Hello, by George. The very thing. Oh, serves him right. I shouldn't leave it about in this ostentatious way when I'm so beastly hard up. Won't they be jolly waxy? And that's a bottle apiece, and they must make up with whiskey and soda.
Hello, Babs. We've been to your rooms to find you. We were talking about you.
Oh, really? I say, how do you think I'm looking?
Splendid, old chap.
Well, I thought you'd be pleased with me. Well, ta-da.
Now, Babs, don't go. You wanted to see us, didn't you?
Yes, I wanted to borrow some fizz, but, well, you know.
Well, I could have lended you a couple bottles, but that fool Brassett.
Oh, I know, my fella's just the same. There's no reasoning with them, is there? Well, ta-ta!
I looked you up last night, Babs, but you were out.
Yes, you know Freddie Peel, don't you? An awful idiot, hasn't a particle of brains, has he? Well, he gave a card party last night, and I won £100 from it. You should have seen his face. Makes me laugh now.
Why, Freddie Peel hasn't sixpence.
No, really.
Did he pay you?
No, but he's going to when his grandmother dies.
That old lady's been dead years.
No, really. You know, that's beastly. I'm stumped. And he's had an awful lot out of me. Well, ta-ta, I'm off.
No, Babs, you must stay and have lunch with me and Charlie.
Well, I say, don't play the giddy goat. I've got to meet my tutor, yes.
Ah, you mustn't work like this, Babs. You're looking quite pulled out.
Am I really?
I was only telling Jack so just now.
You think I shall die?
No. You needn't worry over all this study. You'll be a great man one of these days without all that.
Well, that's what I think, you know. But I must do something. We've had an awful lot of Johnnies in our family. Great Johnnies in the army and navy and things.
I bet they never kill themselves with study.
No, but I ought to do something.
Yes, you ought to stay here and have lunch with me and Charlie. Charlie's aunt is coming to pay him a visit.
No, really, what fun. I know Charlie visits his uncle sometimes when he's hard up, so it's only right his aunt should return the visit.
See? That's just the sort of thing we want. A funny, startled chap like you to amuse and interest a charming lady.
Yes?
Babs, that's it.
Yes? Who is she?
Why, Charlie's aunt.
What's she like?
Well, Babs, we don't quite know. I'm to see her today for the first time.
Oh, I see. She might turn out to be an awful old crock.
She's a widow and a millionaire. That's enough, isn't it?
A millionaire? I say, put me down for a chance, Charlie. I'll take a chance.
We didn't care to ask Freddie Peel, now did we?
No.
No.
No, he's an awful idiot. I say, what's her name?
Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
Oh, damn it, what a name.
No, it's no use. You must stay for lunch. You'll find Charlie's aunt a charming old lady.
A charming old lady? I say, haven't you anything younger coming?
Yes, 2 other ladies.
Nice? Young?
Yes.
And how many did you say there were?
2.
Oh, I see. 1 for each of you, and your crock for me. No thanks, I'm off.
Listen here, Babs. This is an awful serious affair.
Oh, I should think so, with an old crock like that.
And we want your help as a friend.
A friend we can trust, eh?
Rather.
We'll take you into our confidence. No humbug, straight as a die. We are in love.
What? Charlie as well? You silly ass.
No fool or flirtation business, but the real, downright serious thing.
And if you would know the girls as well as we do, you wouldn't wonder at it.
What?
And they're coming here today.
Oh, well, I say, well, I say, haven't you noticed how sad I've been lately?
Yes.
What is it?
Well, I don't know, but I think I'm in love too.
What makes you think that?
Well, I've always wanted to be alone and hear the birds sing. I'm getting so fond of poetry. I can't sleep. I took to drink for a couple of days, but it made me ill for a week, so I left it off.
Well, you've got all the symptoms. Sit down and tell us all about it.
You remember when I was plucked?
Beastly shame.
No, not that time. The time before. I was awfully ill and took the art down to the Mediterranean. And at Monte Carlo, I met this English officer named Delahay, quite penniless and dying. You know, Jack, he tried to commit suicide.
Bad luck at the tables, eh?
Yes, he'd beg at himself and his only child. The sweetest girl you ever saw, Jack. And to amuse him and keep him company, I used to play cards with him.
What became of her?
Oh, he died, poor fellow.
And what became of her? The sweetest girl you ever saw.
I lost sight of her. Well, a woman travelling home that way from South America, I believe, took charge of her and brought her to England. You know, Jack, I I tried to tell her that
You loved her.
she was in such grief that,
It all poured out your fingertips and points of your hair.
but after all, I might have been rejected and I should have looked a silly ass.
Well, at any rate, you can sympathise with us. Oh, here's the messenger bag. They're coming!
I don't.
So they are!
You'll stop, won't you, Babs?
I say, look here.
Oh, you do as you are. We won't let you go now that we've got you.
I say, Jack, don't play the giddy goat. I've got something else to do.
What is it?
Well, something awfully important.
Well, what?
I'm going to play in some amateur theatricals.
Rot, that's its tutor age, Charlie.
But I've given my word.
What are you playing?
A lady, an old lady, and I've never acted before in my life.
That's its tutor age, Charlie.
And I'm going to try on these things before those fellas come.
Well, try them on here. Where are they?
Well, in my rooms, in a box on the bed, but...
Brassett, fetch them, quick.
Yes, no, I'll fetch them with my little bag, yeah.
Babs, you don't sympathize with us a bit.
Don't I, though? I only wish my own girl was here.
Oh, she'll turn up one of these days. Have a drink, will you?
No, I knocked it off. Thanks.
Just a small one.
I'm teetotal.
All right, here you are, Charlie.
So I'll have it.
I know what we'll do. We'll toast to her health, wherever she is. The future Lady Fancount Babberly. What did you say her name was again, Babs?
Haven't the slightest idea.
Oh, go on with you. Miss Delahay.
Miss Delahay!
Your things, my lord. Yeah, thanks, Brassett. You're an awfully good chap. I say, Jack, have you got half a crown?
Have you got half a crown, Charlie?
No, Jack, I haven't.
Lend me half a crown, will you, Brassett?
Yes.
Here you are, Babs.
Yeah, thanks. Brassett, here you are.
What have you got there?
Let's have a look.
Oh, no. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try them on while you're all in the garden after lunch.
Oh, no, that won't do. We shall want you with us. You can try them on here. It won't take long, will it?
Only a minute or two. I've lost an awful lot of time at these theatricals, but next term I mean to work.
Here it is. Here is the name. Oh, so it is Mr. Chesney. I wonder if they're in.
That's the girls. And your aunt's not come yet.
Good gracious, Jack, what shall we do?
Come on. We'll make up. We'll explain. Yes, yes, yes. Show them in, Brassett. How do you do?
Oh,
So
we're
good.
very pleased to be able to come, aren't we, Amy? Oh, yes. Mr. Wykeham, are we too early?
Oh, no.
Oh, Mr. Chesney, you didn't mention any time.
No, it's all right.
Oh, so this is where you think and study and do all your work and everything?
Yes, we do a lot of that sort of thing here.
Oh, you've jolly quarters here.
I'm so glad you were able to come here today. You're off to Scotland tomorrow and we shall miss you so much.
Yes, Uncle always takes us to some dreadfully remote places at this time of the year, where we never see a soul, and it's so dreary.
Why does he?
I don't know.
It's a shame.
Why? Are you sorry we are going?
Sorry, well, it's put me and Jack into a perfect fever. That's why we were so anxious to see you here today.
We are lucky. Uncle is away in town, or I don't think we could have come.
Why?
I don't know, but he raises such odd objections, and he's so peculiar about Kitty.
Why?
She's an heiress, you know, and he's her guardian.
Miss Verdun, have you forgotten our dance the other night? I never shall. No, those stolen moments by ourselves in the garden were the happiest of my life. Out there in the moonlight, yes. Moonlight is the true atmosphere for sentiment.
I wonder how many people have said that.
Kitty, I know when you like, you can be an awful peg, but today you're quite cynical.
I know I am. I'm thinking of that man.
What man?
Mr. Spettigue, my guardian! Who hurries us away from all our best friends directly we get to know anyone really well for fear of...
For fear of what?
Oh, I don't know.
Why does he?
Because he's a selfish, wicked old man.
Are you really so sorry to be going, Kitty?
No, I'm angry. But don't talk about it anymore, or as Annie says, I shall cry.
Oh, what a dear, sweet old lady your aunt must be, Mr. Wykeham. I'm longing to know her. Where is she?
Jack! Where's my aunt? What? Oh well, she's hardly yet arrived.
Oh no! Kitty! Mr. Wykeham's aunt hasn't come yet.
Oh, hasn't come. Oh, then we'll run and do some shopping and come back. Shan't be long. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye. See that? Off like a shot when they found out your aunt wasn't here.
Makes an awful difference, doesn't it?
Well, now then, you hurry up to the station and bundle the old girl here in a cab.
The old girl, what do you mean?
But your aunt, and I'll stay here and look after lunch and keep an eye on Babs.
All right, I say, Jack, I feel happier since I've seen them, don't you?
Oh yes, now we off.
I say, Jack, have you got any hairpins?
Hairpins? Great Scott, no.
May I send your man for some?
Yes, certainly.
Oh, I say, have you got sixpence?
No, afraid not.
Brassett, I'll tell you what I'll do. I gave you half a crown just now. Do you mind making it 2 shillings and getting me 6 penny worth of happiness? Certainly, my lord. You can keep the change. I say, Jack, were those the girls?
Yes. What the devil made you jump out like that? They might have seen you.
Well, I didn't know they were here.
Look out, here's somebody else. By George, there's a lot of hope in what Kitty said. In another minute, I'd have told her that. But never mind. Everything is going splendidly. Come in!
Jack!
Dad!
My dear boy.
Dear old Dad, what brings you here? Where have you come from?
From town, my lad, to have a chat with you and to bring you your check.
Thanks, Dad. You're a brick.
Bit overbaked, my boy, after all my years in India.
A bit crisp, Dad, but a humbug pictorially.
Oh, how do you make that out?
How old are you?
What do you say to
50?
51?
Who'd believe it?
And you, Jack, seem much older than when I was your age. Must be the times, though. Even the old college shows it. New ivy, new paint.
Alma Mater's an old beauty still, Dad.
Ah, I suppose she is. Well, we all get old.
As presentably as possible. Why, dear, even you, dear old Dad, at 50. 50 years ago would have been a stout, white-haired old bull, domineering, top-booted old boy, and instead, here you are, smack, smart, bang up-to-date sort of chap one can talk to like a chum. How have you done it?
Don't know.
Do you eat?
All I want.
Drink well?
Never noticed.
There you have it. Consequently, health good, temper perfect. We'll be great pals, Dad.
Here's your check to go on with.
I thank you, Dad. I haven't seen half enough of you.
I see your hospitality.
I hope, Dad.
Never mind. Same when I was a lad.
I've been done over by that wine monstrously.
Were you? So was I. Done everything monstrously at the college. But settle up, settle up. I'm very satisfied with you. It's something to go down in college with a record like yours. Say, Jack, where the devil did you get these cigars?
Those, Dad?
Ah, that accounts for the bills. Well, now, Jack, we must begin to think.
Think.
Yes, now that I've come into the family titles, as you know, I've also, which you don't know, come into the family debts and difficulties.
Debts?
Which are far greater than expected, with the result being that all the money I've been saving in India goes to pay them. And, well, in short, Jack, for the next few years, you and I will be, relatively speaking, poor men.
Poor men.
However,
This settles me with old Spettigue.
However, I am in hopes for a small appointment for you in Bengal.
Bengal? What horrid place. What have you got there, Brassett?
His lordship's hairpins,
Oh,
sir.
confound his hairpins. The dad will be an odd one. I must get rid of Babs somehow if he stays. Stays? That's an idea. I say, Dad, I've an idea. Couldn't this matter be settled by a wealthy marriage?
No, Jack, that's the sort of thing I'd rather depreciate. I don't say,
Listen,
Jack.
my chum, that is, Charlie Wykeham's aunt, is coming here to visit today. She's a widow.
A widow.
And a millionaire.
And a millionaire.
And a charming woman.
No, Jack, I wouldn't suggest that you do such a thing merely for the sake of money.
Not me, Dad, you!
Me, you young rascal. No, I shall never marry again.
Aw, think it over. Where are your things,
At
Dad?
the hotel, don't be rash.
Go and change, make yourself look as nice as possible, and put a flower in your buttonhole.
I say, Jack, I...
Ah! Father, Charlie Wykeham. Charlie, my father.
Glad to know you, my boy. Glad to know you.
That's her nephew. Nice boy, you'll like him.
Thought it was the fire brigade.
Don't forget that. Flower in your buttonhole.
No,
It
Jack.
takes years of a man a flower in his buttonhole.
No, Jack. You come dine with me at the Marta.
Don't be rash, Dad. See her first. See her first.
All right, Jack. I'll have a look at her.
Well, what is it?
Read that!
Important business, stop. Don't expect me for a few days, stop. Donna Lucia Dalvadore, stop. No!
She's
no,
not
no,
coming.
No. But she must! Go wire! Telegraph!
No use, there's no time!
But she mustn't! The girls won't stay without a chaperone!
What shall we do? There's, we could ask old Proctor's wife, old Mrs.
Who'd sit there and stare like an owl?
They're coming!
What are we to do?
I say, Jack, look at me.
What the devil is it? By George! Splendid! Charlie, do you know what a pious fraud is?
Pious fraud?
First cousin to a miracle. Look!
What is it?
Babs, your aunt!
Babs? My aunt?
The only one you got, so you better make the best of her.
I say, look here. How is this?
Splendid!
Who's that?
The girls.
The girls?
Charlie's aunt can't come.
Can't you? I'll go and take these things off.
They won't stay if you do.
Won't stay? What do you mean?
You must be Charlie's aunt.
Me? No.
Show them in, Brassett!
No.
Ah, you're back. So glad.
Yeah, we've been longer than we intended, but I wanted to get some flower for Charlie's home. Has she come?
Yes, has she? I hope she has come.
Ah, yes, she's come. Donna Lucia, Miss Verdun, Miss Spettigue, girls, Donna Lucia Dalvadores, Charlie's aunt. Say something.
How do you do, my dears?
We called upon you before, Donna Lucia, but hadn't arrived.
And we brought you these.
Oh, thank you. What the dickens am I to do with these things?
Put them in your dress.
You look worried, Mr. Wykeham. Are you ill?
No, I'm anxious.
No. Charlie's a little affected at meeting his aunt for the first time today. Why the dickens don't you say something?
What the dickens am I to say?
Talk about the weather.
Charming weather.
Oh yes, it's charming.
Well, college gents will do anything.
No, you're placing me in a terribly false position.
May I arrange these for you, Lucia? After all, we have some nice weather in Poole or England.
Does you mean by that?
Why, you're a foreigner.
A foreigner? What did you say my name was?
Donna Lucia Dalvadores.
What am I, Irish?
No, English. Married Portuguese abroad.
A widow
From Brazil.
and a millionaire.
I say, Charlie, have I any children?
No, you fool.
What? One ought to know. Well, That's all right. Now we can go ahead. Yes, it's wonderful weather for England.
Yes, it is.
Shall I take them to see the chapels and the cloisters?
No, me and Charlie will do that.
Of course, it's... You don't know about Oxford, don't you? So, but maybe you don't know, but it's a charming old place by any weather. And I mean, I will show you all about it.
Oh, I shall be delighted.
You're staying till tomorrow, are you not?
Am I staying till tomorrow?
No!
No!
Oh, but you will. You must. Mustn't she, Kitty?
Of course.
I'm afraid Auntie can't stay after today.
No, you see, it's my washing day.
She has so much business to attend to in town.
Yes, lawyers and stocks.
Yes, stocks and socks. All very important, you know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We have been longing to know you.
No, have you, my dear?
Yes, Mr. Wykeham has told us so much about you, and he made us quite love you.
Oh, has he, my dear?
Yes. He's so grateful, and he says he owes everything to you, and he could never repay you. Oh, but he is such a frank, kind, upright man. It was so noble of you.
Oh, my dear, it was only my duty to look after the welfare of my poor brothers.
Sisters, you fool!
Sisters, you fool! Sisters! Orphan girl!
Boy!
Boy! I'll say twins in a minute.
Oh, but it was so good of you to find out. He could be left to starve or fall into cruel hands, but you have such a kind, affectionate nature.
No, have I, my dear?
Yes, anyone could tell it in your face.
No.
Oh, I feel I could tell my whole heart to you.
Don't let her!
I shan't, the dear little thing.
But you don't mind my talking to you like this, do you?
No, my dear, you're a very charming little girl, of whom I'm sure I could soon grow very fond. And you must tell me all you like, someday, when you know me better.
I feel I know you years and years already.
Oh, they're jealous. I'm very sorry, but I am such a delight.
Mr. Chesney, I beg pardon, sir, but I overheard Mr. Spettigue inquiring at the gates about your room, sir.
Oh dear.
Oh, my uncle is back.
Mr. Spettigue, I thought he was in London.
Mr. Chesney, I beg of you to send him away.
What am I to do? What am I to say?
Stay where you are, Babs. Say what you like, but only get rid of him.
Why doesn't someone open this door? Why doesn't someone open this door?
What do you want?
I wish to see Mr. Chesney.
Where did you get that hat, sir? Take it off, sir. Don't sit down, sir. I'm not sitting down. I'm asking you to sit down.
We'll waive that for the present, madam. I wish to speak to Mr. Chesney at once.
Well, he can't. He's not present. I'm the only person present.
But the porter told me that two young ladies, my niece and my ward, were here.
I'm telling you that I am the only young lady present.
But he told me he saw them come into the building.
And didn't he say he saw them go out?
No!
No, but then what more do you want, then?
They've gone into the garden.
They've done nothing of the kind.
Then they've gone into town.
And why couldn't you think of that before? And now, sir, have you gotten all the information you're likely to get in your present condition?
Madam!
Disgraceful! Where have you been?
What do you mean, madam? I am annoyed, but I'm perfectly sober.
Well, you don't look it. And other people can be annoyed as well as yourself.
I apologize, madam. Good morning. Something just hit me.
I beg your pardon?
Did you see anything strike that hat?
Wants me to do it again. No.
Very well.
No, my dears.
Oh, Donacia, that was so very sweet of you.
You dear thing.
Look at him, Jack.
I'll punch his head if he does it again. Here's my father. father. Take care how you speak to him.
I see. Am I any relation to him?
No, you're Charlie's aunt from Brazil.
Brazil. Where's that?
It's where the nuts come from. Ah, Miss Verdun, my father.
Delighted.
Miss Spettigue, my father.
Charmed. Now, Jack, has she come?
Yes. Charlie, introduce your aunt.
Donna Lucia Davadores, Sir Francis Chesney, Jack's father.
How do you do, Sir Francis?
How do you do?
I am Charlie's aunt from Brazil. Where the nuts come from?
Say, Jack, is that the lady?
Yes.
Oh, by George.
Don't go, Dad. Go on. Charlie's told you all about him.
Charlie's told you all about him.
No.
No.
My nephew Charles.
My nephew Charles has told me so much about you in his letters. In his letters, that's all right, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
What, do it yourself!
I'm much obliged, Mr. Wykeham, but I only met him today for the first time.
See? But Dad, I've been simply photographing you to Charlie for years.
Yes, he's a splendid photographer.
No, you only just got to England and you've never met Charlie before today.
Why the devil didn't you say so before?
Jack! My dear boy, it's impossible.
What?
Look at her.
Huh? Oh, good heavens!
Luncheon is ready, sir.
Donna Lucia, take my dad and be careful how you speak to him. Dad, will you take Donna Lucia?
Allow me, Donna Lucia.
You'll sit beside me, won't you, Sir Francis?
I shall be delighted. You've, traveled a great deal, I suppose?
Oh, yes, I've been a great traveller. I travelled all the way from London only this morning. Oh, what a pretty flower.
Oh, do you like it? Will you accept it?
No, thank you, I'll have it stuffed.
Open the wine, Brassett.
Oh, you've Johnny quarters here, Mr. Chesney.
Yes. Yes, they're awfully nice room, Mr. Chesney. Don't you think, Sir Francis?
A pleasanter today than usual, I fancy. Oh, Donna Lucia, may I have the pleasure?
Oh, Jack! Where the devil did you get this stuff?
May I have some water, please?
Open the champagne, Brassett.
I can't find it, sir.
Can't find it. Do you know where it is, Charlie?
No.
What's become of it? I thought it was on ice.
What is it? What do you want?
The champagne, Donna Lucia.
Oh, haven't you got any? Well, I thought you'd forget something, so I brought some with me in my bag. In my bag, Brassett.
Aha! So I was right after all. And an old fool of a woman told me they weren't here.
Mr. Spettigue.
Do not address me, sir. So this is how you take advantage of my absence.
Mr. Spettigue.
Do not address me, sir. I have no wish to hold any converse with you.
But won't you allow us to explain, sir?
My business is with this young man, sir, and not with you.
But you won't listen to either of them.
Go away, madam, and do not interfere.
You forget yourself, sir.
Sir, perhaps you will remember that ladies are present?
I disapprove of their presence here and want them to return with me.
We can discuss this matter on a more fitting occasion.
Yes, certainly. A most excellent proposal. Have him call again.
You are a very foolish old woman, and I must beg of you not to interfere. Ladies, come.
Sir, you cannot put such an affront on Mr. Wykeham's friends.
I don't know them.
Introduce me, Mr. Wykeham.
Mr. Spettigue, Sir Francis Chesney.
Ah, yes.
This is my son, sir, and, these are his rooms.
Indeed,
And this lady is...
Well, then pray don't introduce me. I've already been sufficiently insulted by the old gentleman.
I consult my own feelings when I say that I am deeply annoyed to find, upon prematurely returning from town, my niece and my ward lunching without my permission with these two young gentlemen.
To meet Mr. Wykeham's aunt.
Indeed,
There's no indeed about it, sir. I repeat, to meet Mr. Wykeham's aunt.
In my mind, it matters little.
In my mind, it matters everything. So allow me to introduce you. Donna Lucia? What's his confounded name, Jack?
Spettigue.
Mr. Spettigue. Mr. Spettigue, Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
Oh, Donna Lucia, the celebrated millionaire. Oh, how do you do?
How do you do? I am Charlie's son from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
I've been indiscreet. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
He's apologized. Go on, ask him for lunch.
Well, I thought you were very rude, but if you were to apologize, you know.
Oh, by all means, I am truly very sorry.
You'll stay for lunch, won't you?
If you wish it, but am I forgiven?
Forgiven? Have this flower as a peace offering.
Oh, thank you.
My flower! Allow me, Donna Lucia.
No, allow me.
Well, we're sailing along. He makes a wonderful old lady, no doubt about it. A bit singular to look at, perhaps. But then again, look at some of the old ladies. Nobody believe impossible. Although he doesn't look a bit worse. There are 2 or 3 I could mention holding very high positions. And both the old gents have their eye on her. I fancy Sir Francis is a favourite. Although Mr. Spettigue fancies himself. Well, call it, gents. We'll do anything.
What are you laughing at, eh?
Beg pardon, sir. I was just thinking of an old aunt of mine.
Eh?
Uncle.
Well, mind your own business and go get tea. Do you see tea?
Tea, sir? Yes, sir.
Out here.
Out here, sir?
Yes, I've got special permission.
Beg pardon, sir.
And now for Kitty. Where is she? Everything's going all right so far. Babs frightened the life out of me 2 or 3 times at lunch, bumping into things as if he hadn't had food for a week. But we're over the worst. Still, I haven't had my chat with Kitty yet. But now that they've all settled down, I've given her a hint to meet me here, where we can talk quietly. Here she is! Hang it! I have a most particular appointment here with Kitty, so hook it!
But so have I, Jack.
With Kitty?
No, with Amy.
Well, then we've both made appointments in the same place. Confound it all, what are we to do?
Well, they're your rooms.
Yes, but you're my guest. We'll toss for it. Have you got any money?
A halfpenny. That's all.
Right. Heads, it's you and Amy. Tails, it's me and... Here she is!
Jack, that's all the money I've got.
Oh, Mr. Chesney, here you are.
Yes, here I am. In fact, waiting. I was beginning to worry that you wouldn't come. What are you still doing there? Have you no tact?
What about me and Amy?
Oh, Mr. Wykeham, there you are.
I was coming, I'm here.
Beastly awkward. I say, Charlie, have you shown Miss Spettigue all around the garden?
Yes, I have. 2 or 3 times. In fact, we just came from there. I wish he'd leave us.
Lovely garden, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is.
Suppose? You haven't seen half of it. Charlie, Miss Spettigue hasn't seen half the garden. You must take her and show her the roses and primroses and cabbages and things.
But Jack,
Take her and show her those beautiful lines you wrote to our garden in summer.
Jack, don't tell her I write poetry. She'll think I'm an awful ass.
Don't forget, Miss Spettigue, tea here in half an hour.
Very well, Mr. Chesney.
But Jack, the others are in the garden, and it wears the life out of me to see Babs.
Well, don't. It's a large garden. Keep out of his way. And now, Kitty. My dear Kitty.
Don't you think it was rather selfish of us, Mr. Chesney, to send them away like that?
We tossed for it.
What?
I mean, they seemed much happier together, alone, and it seemed I could not find one moment alone with you, save for some miserable interruption. In fact, I was beginning to worry you would find me terribly rude, neglecting you as I have done.
Oh no, not at all. I quite understand. I couldn't expect you to devote yourself entirely to me. Indeed, we had a very pleasant time in the garden, and now...
Yes, and now?
I was thinking we ought to be going by now.
Go! Now! Good gracious, no!
Why not?
Before I've had a word with you. Miss Verdun. Kitty. Won't you sit down? I have something to say to you. Of importance.
Indeed, Mr. Chesney.
Yes, Miss Verdun. There are times when a fellow has got to think long and think hard.
I suppose so.
Yes, and there are times when a fellow must not stop to think, or if he does, he will spoil his chance.
Yes.
Yes, and so, Miss Verdun, Kitty, my dear Kitty.
Oh, I beg your pardon. No, don't mind me, don't mind me. I only wanted a word with my boy here.
Oh, then I run into the garden and see the roses and primroses and cabbages and things.
Anything important, Dad?
Yes, Jack, it is.
What is it?
Well, you know I would do anything to see you get on in the world and make your mark as much as I know you will, if you get your chance.
You needn't say all this, Dad.
Well, having thought it over, I've decided that you will follow the career I originally mapped out for you. And, seeing a way out of the difficulty, I have determined to marry a lady of wealth.
I see you've fallen victim to the fascinations of some young and lovely...
No, Jack, she's not lovely. And I'm afraid she's not overly young. But she has one thing in her favor. She has money. Which, in this instance, is the real object.
All right, Dad, so long as you're satisfied, go and win.
Well, and I have you to thank, my boy, for the tip.
Thank me for the tip. Forgive me, Dad, I don't remember. Who is she?
Oh, you'll be delighted when I tell you.
Yes, well?
Oh, can't you guess?
No, I can't.
Donna Lucia de Alvedores.
What the devil? But, no, Dad, that's impossible.
Impossible? Why? You yourself suggested it, and for your sake, I'm going to do it.
But Dad, you can't.
Can't? Why not? Is there anything against the lady's reputation?
But you mustn't, you can't.
Mustn't! Can't! Jack, what a boy you are! Weren't you the one that told me to go to my hotel room, to change my things, and put a flower in my buttonhole? And by George, Jack, I believe the flower's done the trick.
Dad, she gave that away.
Ah, she's explained all that, boy.
But Dad, circumstances have changed since then.
In what way?
But you're too good. You're not a man to be thrown away.
Say no more, my boy. Your consideration for me settles it. I will put you forward by years. Had she been some young and lovely lady, she wouldn't have looked at me. As it is, I flatter myself that she's taken rather a fancy to me. And as for old Spettigue, in spite of his mocked intentions, I don't think he stands a ghost of a chance next to me.
Spettigue. Attentions. Good heavens, what are we doing? Dad!
So, Jack, wish me luck, my boy. Wish me luck.
Dad, take time. Think it over.
Think it over. That's not the way an old soldier makes love. Now, I'm going up to your rooms to get myself a rattling good spanking brandy and a soda to bring myself up to the mark.
What is that little monkey doing?
Jack! I wish you'd speak to Babs. He's taken Amy away from me and gone off around the garden with her. It's...
Well, that's nothing to what's going on here. Hear that? That?
Yes, what is it?
That is my dad getting himself a rattling good spanking brandy and soda.
Brandy and soda, what for?
To propose to Babs! That's all.
I knew something awful would come out of this. We shall be found out and disgraced. How could you let it go on, Jack?
Well, don't blame me. It was the fault of your muddle-headed aunt not knowing her own mind and leaving us in the lurch. I could strangle her.
What shall we do?
Come on. We must find Babs and put him up to the governor's game.
But find Babs, but Jack!
We'll go around the garden different ways until we find him.
We should put an end to this horrible...
Shut up! We mustn't lose our heads now, it will ruin everything. Come on!
Now I'm ready for anybody or anything. But why hasn't she come? I didn't tell the dear boy, more particularly when he raised objections. But I had an appointment with her here in 10 minutes, and well, time's up. Time is up. Ah, my dear doc. Oh, that old fool Spettigue. And with my flower in his coat. Are you, looking for anybody?
No.
Oh, what is he hanging about here for? Are you in want of anything?
No, I was just thinking it's a lovely afternoon we're having. Perhaps you haven't seen the garden. It is looking very beautiful. You ought to give it a good look before you go.
I will, before I go. Oh, what's he stopping here for? Have a cigarette?
No, thank you. I never smoke in the daytime. Why does he remain? She said she would meet me here in 10 minutes, and time's up, time's up.
What's he stopping here for? I must tell him to leave.
I wish you could think of something to get rid of him.
Well, seeing as you're not smoking...
No, by all means, by all means.
I was just thinking it might be as well if you rejoin the ladies in the garden. They might think it's rude, both of us being away.
Perhaps so, perhaps so. She's in the garden.
Why doesn't she come? I think I'll go and have another.
I say, Dad, have you seen Donna Lucia anywhere?
No, Jack, I haven't.
That's fortunate.
I'm waiting here for her.
Waiting for her, here.
Yes, Jack, I have an appointment with her. I didn't tell you earlier, but she's due. In fact, she's overdue, so get out, my boy, get out.
They mustn't meet until I've seen her. Actually, Dad, I saw Donna Lucia only a moment ago.
Oh? Where?
In the garden.
In the garden. Hang it, I've just sent old Spettigue there.
Well, I know Babs isn't there, but where on earth has he got to? Have you found him?
No, haven't you?
No, and I've looked all over for him.
So have I. And the worst of it, he's got Amy with him.
I'll kill that little monkey when I get my hands on him.
There he is. Is it too bad?
Oh, Mr. Wykeham, there you are. Did you think you would lost us?
Yes, I was afraid I did.
Where have you been with that girl, you fool?
What? Nowhere.
Well, stay there. I have something to say to you.
Oh, have you?
Charlie, have you shown Miss Spettigue the chapel? Take her away while I speak to Babs. You must see the chapel. It's awful pretty.
I'll punch his head if he does it again.
What the devil can you mean by this game?
What game?
You promised to help us.
Well, I'm doing my best.
Doing your best? Your job was to look after those two old chaps, and instead here you are. But I've no wish to argue.
No, I shouldn't argue if I were you.
Look, I've come to put you on your guard.
Oh my God, oh thank you.
My dad is going to propose to you.
Oh, that's just great. I'm not going to marry him for you or anyone else. I'll see you hanged first.
Well, of course not. All you've got to do is be calm and refuse him.
Calm and refuse him! But a proposal puts anyone in a flutter, you know that.
All you've got to do is remember you're a real old lady.
How the dickens am I to remember that I'm a real old lady when I've got my trousers on?
Never mind your trousers. Look out, here's my dad. I'm off.
What am I to say? I've never been proposed to before.
Say he's taken you by surprise. Only whatever you do, mind you refuse him.
Oh yes, I'll refuse him.
Really? It's too bad. She made the proposition herself. It was definite proposition of her own. Well, women are proverbially unpunctual. Oh, dear Donna Lucia. I began to be afraid and popped into the garden to find you. It's so good of you to come. Won't you sit down? By George, got her at last. Now for the pledge. I will begin with a compliment. I don't know what is her real age. However, a woman is never too old for a compliment, so here it goes. Donna Lucia, to meet you today for the first time, as I have, is to me like a lonely traveler coming across some bright little floweret by the wayside.
Do you mean me?
Yes, Donna Lucia. Yes. By George, that's a good start.
What am I to say to that, I wonder? Well, yes, I think that is very nice and very kind of you.
By George, she looks to be anywhere between 50 and 100. Well, I've put myself to it, so I must come to the point. Donna Lucia, do you know what a man longs for when he's lonely, desolate, and wretched?
A drink?
What a woman doesn't help one bit. No, Donna Lucia, this is what he longs for. He longs to plant in his own heart that bright little floweret.
Oh, I know, by the wayside. Does he really?
Yes, Donna Lucia, yes. And I have come all the way from India to find that little floweret.
Oh, you must be tired. Take a seat.
Oh, thank you, Donna Lucia. It's a long way, you know.
Oh, quite a long walk.
But I found it.
Oh, he's getting on.
That bright little floweret.
Then why don't you put it in your buttonhole?
Oh, will you allow me, or will it be given away to another, as you did before?
Oh, I remember. I was a naughty girl this morning.
But dear Donna Lucia, that little floweret, that floweret must sit at the head of my table, walk by my side, dwell in my heart forever. But I'll waste no more words. I'll come to the point with a soldier's bluntness. Will you be my wife? Will you be my little floweret?
But you've taken me so much by surprise.
Then I might hope.
I'm afraid not. No, don't hope. I wouldn't hope if I were you.
Don't understand. Am I to understand?
I must reject you. The fact is, I am another's.
Another's?
Now I say, don't be downhearted. I'll tell you what I'll do if you like.
Yes, yes?
I will be a sister to you.
A sister? Only a sister?
Only a sister, nothing more.
And no words of mine can alter your decision.
I'm afraid not. You see, I'm in a more peculiar position than I could ever explain. I'm a woman with a history.
Then it is quite useless us prolonging this interview, and you'll accept my regrets and apologies for ever having broached the subject.
Oh, certainly, anytime you're passing.
Refused. What a relief. I'm sorry, though, for the boy's sake.
Well, here's a devil of a mess.
You fool! Why'd you make a fool out of my dad like that for?
I didn't make a fool of the fool, you fool. Well, did you hear what he called me?
Yes, a floweret.
Yes, by the wayside. That's a nice thing, innit?
Well, why didn't you cut him off and refuse him at once?
Well, I couldn't refuse him until he'd proposed. No lady could. Why, I shall find myself in the divorce court before I know where I am. Don't look out, here's old Spettigue again. I shall land him one. I know I shall. I'm off.
Ah, Mr. Chesney, have you seen... Ah!
What on earth made him bolt like that? Anywho, that they don't wreck my future happiness, I must find Kitty. Why couldn't Charley's aunt
sounds familiar. I wonder, why couldn't my nephew remain in his rooms and not compel me to follow him about like this?
Well, you did telegraph him to say you couldn't come.
Yes, I did.
And then you changed your mind.
I know, for about the first time in my life.
Why?
Some vague desire to see him without his knowing. Would you knock again, my dear?
Oh, the porter said they might all be in the gardens. I could roam around these old places all day. Isn't it all beautiful?
Dream away, Ella. I shall wait till someone comes.
To live among those leafy shades and ancient spires and sculptured nooks, like silent music, as God as fairyland.
But one poor supplementary being, not quite so young as she used to be, a little fatiguing.
And how lovely it must be by moonlight, where the shadows have no sudden fears, but only folds in the mantle of sleep, and all is peace. And the silver bells chime to the sentinel angel of the night, who smiles to heaven and whispers back, all is well, sweet bells, all is well.
You fanciful little woman. Well, what has put all of this about angels and so forth into your head today?
Oh, I don't know.
I think I can trace back all the little byways and slyways of thought that generally lead in one direction.
No, it's just all so sweet here.
Oh, and so it was there, by moonlight, seen from the bridge of a certain yacht, the rippling sea, the blue night, the brilliant stars. See how I remember your words, my dear? As a certain someone who used to tell you, as you listened to the chime of the ship bell, that you looked like the angel of the watch. It was a flattering tongue person, that someone. What was his name again?
I've told you so often.
Lord Fancount Babberly. But I don't want your mind fixed on this thing, my dear. Why, I'd almost forgotten to tell you. I've invested your poor father's money for you. And thanks to his forethought for his little girl, he has rendered you independent for life.
Independent?
And what is worse, independent of me. But you won't be. No. Oh. I've grown to love the little orphan I met in such grief in a strange land so much that I'm no more independent of her. So let's make a bargain. Put the dreadful evidence of my dependence aside. Let it grow. Be my little girl and call me auntie, will you?
Yes, auntie, yes!
How did your poor father come to have such a large sum of money anyway? I thought it lost to do.
Oh, he wanted at cards.
Wanted a card? When?
During his illness.
By whom?
From Lord Fancount Babberly.
Is Lord Babberly a gambler
No!
too?
Oh, but auntie, if we ever meet again, can I give it back?
I don't think you'd take it.
Why not?
Well, it appears to me you took too much trouble to lose it. But I don't want to speak for him. I don't want you to ever leave me, my dear. You've set me thinking now.
Have I? What about?
Someone who...
Do tell me.
It was before I went away to Brazil. I was very young and he was very, very shy. He never called me the angel of the watch, but it went as far as a flattering compliment and a blush, and then... And then he was ordered off with his regiment.
Oh, without ever...
Without ever.
Oh, auntie.
It was a dead dance, the evening before he went away.
And you've loved never anyone since?
I was a sentimental young lady back then.
What was his name, auntie?
Frank Chesney.
Chesney.
How strange. Oh. I'm afraid we're intruding.
Oh, not at all. The college grounds are open to everyone. I am, so to speak, at home here, merely because these are my son's rooms.
Mr.?
Chesney.
Pardon me asking, but are you, or rather, were you Lieutenant Frank Chesney?
I was.
And you don't remember me?
I acknowledge with regret that I have no recollection whatsoever.
It must be more than 20 years since.
20 years?
Doesn't remember.
Oh, 20 years is a long time, auntie.
20 years? Where was the regiment then, I wonder?
Then you've forgotten the day you first embarked for India.
No.
But you've forgotten the evening before.
No, not altogether. Lucy! Oh, and to think, at that very dance... but you wouldn't remember that, of course.
Oh, no?
No, because I never told you. But by George, at that very dance, I nearly made you a proposal. Oh, and to think we haven't met in all that time. Almost, well, over 20 years, we'll say, eh?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, I remember the dance perfectly. You were in a white, tied up with blue.
Tied up in blue, like a chocolate box.
Oh, you must meet my son. These are his rooms, and he's a splendid fellow.
Oh, what is his name?
My son?
Yeah.
Mr. Chesney.
Oh. And where is he now?
Oh, they're in the garden, or he's with some friends, and they're entertaining some ladies in the garden. 2 younger ladies, and his aunt, a lady from Brazil.
Wait, what is this friend name again?
The friend, Mr. Wykeham.
Wykeham. And you said, is it with his aunt?
Yeah, a lady from Brazil.
From Brazil?
Yes, Dona Lucia de Alvadoras.
Auntie, what does he mean?
Hold on, my dear. Mr. Chesney, do I understand you to say that Dona Lucia de Alvadoras is here? Actually here?
In the garden, or was 5 minutes ago. I'm sorry, do you know her?
I heard of her. What does it mean?
If you'll excuse me, Mrs.
Babberly's me.
Auntie! I will introduce you to them, and I'll go find the boys and Miss... Or perhaps you wouldn't mind coming to the garden to meet them.
With pleasure. I'm actually very curious to meet them. My niece, Miss Delahay.
Ah, pleasure to meet you.
Coroner?
Ah, Sir Francis Chesney.
Come along.
Jack, my boy, if that had been Dona Lucia, things would have been very different.
The lordship up with the audience now. Looks like if they're playing a game of some kind. I can't help but to think it's dangerous running about like that. And I'm not quite sure I didn't catch sight of his lordship's trousers.
And now, Kitty, no one here, and I can finally speak to you.
But Jack, look.
What are you doing there, Brassett?
Laying the cloth for tea, sir.
Go away.
Well, you gave the order, sir.
Put it back half an hour. Quick, man! Can't you see I'm engaged?
Really, sir? I congratulate you.
Busy! Busy, confound you! Now get out and don't come back! And now, Kitty, my dear Kitty.
Yes, you said that before, Jack.
Now don't interrupt me, Kitty. I go straight at most things, and I won't hesitate over this.
Oh, is that you attach so much importance to it, or that you don't care what you do?
It's both. Mixed. Kitty, my dear Kitty.
Yes, Jack.
Kitty, do be serious. In a few hours' time, you will be miles away, and it may be years before I see you again. Unless...
Unless what?
Kitty, will you listen?
I can't help myself.
Well, you know how my dad has told me that he intends me for Parliament and all that?
Yes.
Yes, well, now he tells me that for the next few years I shall have to give up all that and make my own living.
Well, that will do you no harm, Jack.
Exactly. That's how I see it. I've done well up here at Oxford. I've worked hard, and hard work tells with you, so I intend to turn to and to turn out all right. One way or another.
The dear fellow.
I hope they'll keep away.
Well, I wish you every success then.
Of course, in time, I shall be all right. But the question is, will you wait?
Wait, what for?
No, I didn't mean, I beg your pardon.
Oh, you didn't mean it.
No, well, what I meant to say was, Kitty, before I go any further, I should like you to understand what I've been telling you.
Yes, what was that?
Well, to be practical and put it all plainly before you, my situation in life will be something...
In the city.
Yes, thank you. My home.
Suburban.
Exactly, thank you. Transit.
Bus or rail.
My personal income.
Small.
My extra income.
Precarious.
But under certain conditions, my fears would be nil and my hopes tremendous. Now you know all. That's where I stand.
Oh, that's how you stand.
Kitty! It's my duty to tell her all.
The dear fellow.
I'll kill anyone who comes now.
Well, I hope those happy conditions will be realized to your heart content.
They're Kitty. They will never be realized. Without you.
Without me?
Now you're vexed with me, Kitty. You hate the city. You loathe the suburbs. You despise buses.
Why should you say that, Jack?
Kitty.
As if I hadn't the heart to do what thousands of beggars than I have done.
Kitty.
As if I couldn't guess all the happy fun that it is to go out of cooking and mending and ministering to the wish and happiness of the man who will strive and work for the woman he loves.
But Kitty.
Try me, Jack, for I love you dearly.
Kitty! You do!
Yes, as much as you love me, Jack.
Kitty!
My dear Kitty!
My dear Kitty, you're a brick. I've done it! In spite of the lot of them, I've done it!
But what about Mr. Spettigue, my guardian?
I will go see him at once.
No, that won't do.
Won't do.
Yes, his consent must be in writing.
In writing? Why?
Yes, you know, if not, he will not get on his word. But you don't know him as well as I do. So now there is only one person who can get this written consent for us. So be a good boy and send her to me at once.
Who? Amy?
No, Charley's aunt, Donna Lucia.
Donna Lucia? But Kitty?
Don't ask any question. Go and find her while I'll go find Amy.
Where are we now? This can't go on!
I've done it, Jack! I've done it!
Done what?
I've let the cat out of the bag and told her everything!
Told her what? You fool! What have you told her?
That I love her!
Oh, is that all?
Yes, Jack, but Jack, she's gone off route to find Donna Lucia and get her uncle's consent. We shall be in the dickens of a mess yet!
Well, keep cool, man, keep cool. We're all right until now. We're all right until now.
When and how shall I earnest see her? What are the first words she will say to me?
You shall drag us into awful disgrace!
And a damn good job, too. You don't know the things he keeps saying to me.
He who?
My old Spettigue.
What's he saying?
Yes, what does he say?
No, Charley's too young.
Oh, get out, man, that's nothing.
Well, it's embarrassing. And look how well I get on with girls.
Yes, confound you too well.
Oh, do I?
Jack, I can live this lie no longer!
No. Don't start that now. Some lies have got to be lived.
What for?
To save confessing them, you duffer!
I wish to goodness it put this all to an end.
So do I. I want a drink.
But it would be all right if the donkey would only be reasonable and behave like a lady.
I know all that, but he can't. He doesn't know how to.
As it is, the selfish idiot is spoiling and ruining everything.
I wish we'd ask Freddie Peel now.
At any rate, Freddie Peel would have stood by us like a man.
If you think of all the miseries put us to.
The selfish little beast.
Look at him now.
Oh, Mr. Chesney, have you seen Donna Lucia?
In the garden.
Oh, yes.
I say, you chaps, I can't stand this any longer. Let Charley have a go.
Just when we need Spettigue, in his best humour, here you are, risking everything by this fool of a game.
What fool of a game? I'm not going to marry old Spettigue. I could never be happy with a man like that.
You know, Babs, if it was your girl, we'd do anything for you.
And instead, here you are running after our girls, confound you!
Charlie, do I look all right in back?
Look out, here are the girls!
Oh, Delahay, we've been looking for you everywhere. I mean, I want so much to talk to you.
We are in a difficulty.
A difficulty?
And we want you to be an angel.
Do you?
No, to go away, Jack.
Yes, Charlie, go away.
Yes, go away! They want me to be an angel.
So you know, Kitty and Jack are in love with each other.
And
And Kitty
also,
would like
you know,
now help
Mr.
her.
Spettigue is
to
my
make some
sergeant,
letter.
and under my father's
Must
will,
have
he
put
gives
some
me
money
all
or
my money
something.
if I marry
And
without
now
his
Kitty is
consent.
like,
But,
what to do?
I need to... Wait a minute, please.
Yes, Sammy. Wait a minute. It's her turn now.
Now it's your turn.
Yes, now it's your turn.
Well, and Annie and Charlie, I love with each other too, but you won't object, will you?
No, my dears.
You dear thing.
Oh dear. No, Jack, do go away.
Yes, Charlie, go away.
Yes, go away. We three girls want to be alone.
I must end this. I must do something.
Yes, you must go and look after the tea. I must bring them all and stop this.
Now, you know where we left off, will we?
Yes, yes. You're all in love and want to get married.
Well, yes,
And we want Uncle consent.
and yours. And we want you to be an angel and do it.
An angel and do it. Do what?
Why, get Mr. Spettigue's consent.
For both of us.
Oh, for both of you.
Yes, first, you see, you will give your consent to Charlie and Amy, won't you?
Well, yeah, nothing could be nicer.
You are so kind. I knew it from the first.
Do you want me to be one of your bridesmaids? No, some other time.
Now, we want you to get his consent, but mine being a legal affair, you understand, don't you?
Oh, yes, your father's will, you mean?
Yes, his consent must be in writing.
In writing.
Yes, and you must get it.
Get it?
Yes, you must make him write a letter or something.
Oh, but my dears, I don't have any influence over him.
Oh, but you are so clever and so kind.
And so rich.
Oh, yes, and so rich. I remember I gave away £5 only this morning.
Well, at any rate, you must try.
Yes, Donna Lucia, please say you will try.
We are going away.
Oh, no, my dears, don't leave me.
We are going to Scotland.
No, Scotland, I know, a beautiful country, where the whiskey comes from.
You are our only hope.
Donna Lucia, have you ever been in love?
Oh, dozens of times. I mean, once in love, always in love, you know?
So you know what it means to us, don't you?
I should rather think I did.
And you will give his consent for us, won't you?
Well, I will try my best.
You can't say no now.
No, not now.
Now, we will find Mr. Spettigue and send him to you at once. Fine.
Well, here's a devil of a position. Oh, I say, Brassett, can you get me a drink of some kind? He's on Spettigue again.
Ah, there you are, my dear Donna Lucia. I've been looking for you all afternoon. I have so much to say to you.
Ah, Mr. Spettigue. Allow me to introduce you to Mrs. Beverly Smith. Mrs. Beverly Smith, Mr. Spettigue, Donna Lucia de Alvadores. Ah, Brassett. Excuse me a second.
How annoying. Why couldn't they have kept away?
How do you do? I'm Charlie's home from Brazil. Where did nuts come from?
How do you do? Do you know, I'm most interested in meeting you.
Oh, really?
I knew your late husband. Intimately.
What's the matter, Babs?
She knew my late husband intimately.
How are you getting on? Everything's all right?
No, she knew my late husband intimately.
What the devil? Look out, his tea.
Well, what of it?
You must entertain.
cruel interruption. We were getting along so nicely.
Lucia, will you pour out tea?
Oh, certainly. Do we want tea?
You haven't been in England long, have you?
Change the subject.
Change the subject.
No. Do you take sugar and cream?
No, do you take sugar and cream?
Ask her if she takes sugar and cream.
Ask her if she takes sugar and cream.
I will have some sugar and cream, Donna Lucia. My hat!
I beg your pardon.
I must keep her in the humor. I must see her alone. I have it. We must all come to dinner, and after dinner, that's the time for my purpose. Ah, pardon me, but I have a little proposition to make.
Here.
And I can't take no.
Mr. Spettigue's car.
Ah, yes, capital, that's the very thing. Now, I want you, all of you, to come and stay and dine at my house.
Oh, that will be delightful.
Grand idea.
Thanks awfully, sir.
Will you accompany me in my car, Donna Lucia?
It's impossible. I can't.
I will take no denial. I want you, all of you, to come.
I have my niece with me, Miss Delahay.
Miss.
Oh, of course, delight.
No, I can't. My things.
Oh, never mind.
There they go. Dinner's pretty well over now. And they'll all be in here pretty soon. Fancy old Spettigue having me come over here and bottle for him. I suppose he's too mean to have a bottle of his own. Well, I must say, it's simply marvellous the way his lordship has kept it up. He's played the perfect lady something wonderful. But if the worst comes to the worst, I still have his lordship's clothes with me.
I say, Brassett, get me a cab quick. I'm going home.
Very well, sir.
You've been going along all right. If only you had paid more attention to old Spettigue. What the devil made you bolt from the dinner table like that?
Yes, it was so dangerously unkind of you, you know?
Instead of behaving in a dignified manner as Charley's aunt, here you are acting like some disgraceful old...
Oh, go on, finish it. Don't spare me. You can't say I'm drunk, or anyhow, if I am, it's for the want of it.
This game won't do!
But what game?
Think of the girls and the solemn promise you gave them, for our sake.
But she wasn't here then.
She who?
The girl.
What girl?
But Miss Delahay.
The girl with Mrs. what's her name?
Yes, Mrs. Butterscotch Smith's niece.
Well, what about her?
Well, she is the little girl I met at Monte Carlo. And this Butterscotch woman is the woman who took her away. And I'm off.
Stop him, Charley, quick! You have got us into a devil of a mess.
Well, of all the beastly, ungrateful things to say.
But what difference can it make to you now?
Why, I want to talk to her.
Talk to her? What about?
I want to tell her what you fellows have been telling your girls. Hanged it. I'm just as much in love as you are.
Jack, they're gonna hear everything.
Was there ever such an idiot?
No, there never was. Look at me. I'm a disgrace.
Well, if worse comes to worse, we'll take the bull by the horns and be done with him.
Oh, you can take the bull by the tail for all I care. And what's more, you can tell those confounded girls of yours to leave off kissing me before I can't stand it.
What? Don't shout, you idiot! We'll think of some excuse. Put him in a cab and be done with him.
Charley, you can make some excuse to Miss Verdun for me.
Miss Verdun? What the devil have you got to say to Miss Verdun? Come, out with it.
Haven't I promised to get old Spettigue's consent in writing, you idiot? You're as helpless as a couple of babies. You want your mothers with you? This way, mother.
They're coming!
Sit down here.
How's your aunt, Mr. Wykeham?
Yes.
You were afraid she might be ill.
Is there anything the matter?
Well, Auntie only been a bit upset by the heat of the dining room, that's all.
The heat. I found her rather cold.
Yes. Charlie means that. Cold. You see, Donna Lucia here lives so long in a warm climate. Won't you try on 2 smelling salts? They're so good. Thank you. Yes. She's often like this, isn't she, Charlie?
Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
Oh, I hope Donna Lucia is all right.
Yes, is she?
Oh, Mr. Chesney says she's all right now.
Well, Mr. Spettigue is in the garden and he's most anxious, so do tell him. We are going to care about her.
I say, you fellas, don't leave me like this.
We will look after her now.
Here's a devil of a position. I wonder what they'll talk about. I hope they'll be careful before me.
I wonder who she really is, Auntie.
Some old thing that got after receiving my telegrams.
But say something to her, Auntie. I really like to hear her talk.
Oh, I would, my dear, but look at her. If I
Don't
think-
honk at the silly fools.
Well, I say, Hella, what's the story?
Oh, that's just what I expected.
The one Don Pedro was so fond of.
I must put a stop to this. Won't one of the young ladies play something, please?
Oh, what of her to interrupt like that?
She couldn't have heard you.
Oh, do tell us, Mrs. Beverly Smith.
Yes, anything about Don Pedro would be so interesting. Do tell us.
But maybe Donna Lucia would rather tell the story of Don Pedro herself.
Tom Pedro?
Don Pedro Delvador is your late husband. You know Donna Lucia?
No, of course I know his name, but I don't recall his stories. I don't hold with such frivolity. It really is too bad of those fellows.
No, do tell the story yourself. Don't tease her so.
Well, Don Pedro was the kindest soul in all the world. But would Donna Lucia give me permission?
You won't mind Mrs. Beverly Smith telling the story, won't you?
And you will listen, won't you?
Well, if I must, I must.
As I said before, Don Pedro was the kindest soul in all the world. Once found one of his tellermen tipsy, very tipsy. So Don Pedro, who the man did not recognize,
Why? Was Don Pedro tipsy?
No, the man, Donna Lucia.
The man was tipsy.
Don Pedro was of course the most abstemious. That's what makes the point of story.
Oh, does it?
So Don Pedro asked the man, what would Don Pedro say if he saw you like this?
Tipsy? Like this?
Yes.
And what did the man say?
The man said, and here's where it's so funny.
Oh, is that where we laugh?
No.
The man said, oh, that's all right. Don Pedro is often like this.
Tipsy?
Yes.
Well, of all the damn silly stories. What was the man's name?
Oh, really, I don't know the man's name.
Oh, that's a pity.
But Donna Lucia, don't you remember the story? It was a fairy one of Don Pedro.
No, perfectly. I shrieked when I heard it first. That reminds me of a very funny story. Won't one of the young ladies play something, please?
I'm so out of practice. You sing something, Amy?
Oh, I can't. I know nothing new.
Oh, sing that little charming ballad, you know, the dum-de-dum-dum-dum-dum, you know.
I'm afraid I can't, Donna Lucia.
Donna Lucia, why don't you sing something for us?
Me?
Yes, one of those charming little Brazilian songs Don Pedro was so fond of.
No, I haven't sung since I had the measles.
What?
Over 40 years ago.
Another lie. I was the merest infant.
But I play a little. That's a great idea. I shan't have to talk and I can drown their conversation.
I hope you're quite recovered from the shock my niece gave you today.
Oh, yes, I was a little giddy, wasn't I? I suffer so much from giddiness. Were you ever giddy?
Never.
Well, I was. Now, what shall I play? A little Beethoven or Bluebells of Scotland? Do you know that?
Come along, my dear friends, come along.
Oh, here they are. No, don't forget the letter.
Oh, no, I won't forget.
Yes, we will let them, have them all into the garden and leave her alone with Mr. Spettigue.
Ah, charming, charming. Bring the cigars, Brassett. Unless, of course, the ladies, Mrs. Beverly Smith, Donna Lucia, object to...
Smoking? Oh no, I like it. It kills the insects and things.
Look at him, Jack!
What's he doing?
Staring at Ella like he did all through dinner!
The fool!
I must make an opportunity to see her alone. It's a sweet evening. Perhaps some of you may care to enjoy a cigar in the garden.
No, thank you, sir.
It's a sweet evening.
You've been enjoying yourself scapulally bit, Miss Verdun. We heard the music.
Oh, Donna Lucia has been playing for us.
Charming. What should we have ever done without your dear Aunt Charlie?
Don't groan like that, you idiot. Are you fond of music, Mr. Spettigue?
Well, I hope to be.
Why? Are you going to take lessons? She's staring at me like that for? Like a boiled owl.
I'm glad I've told you about Kitty now, Dad. She's a splendid girl, isn't she?
I like her very much, Jack, I must say.
And you've taken a load off my mind, Dad. I thought I was quite without means.
Not entirely, my boy. And you've thought this matter well over.
Night and day, Dad, ever since I first met her.
Oh, it's a serious step, you know. A serious step.
Now, don't forget the letter. I mean, let's get them all into the garden. You take Charlie.
I'm glad I told the Dad now.
But why won't you listen to reason?
Of course I'll listen to reason, but where is the letter you promised me?
I remember, I just haven't written it yet.
Not yet.
We must find an opportunity to talk it over more closely. Alone.
Oh, that will be nice.
Charlie, why are you so depressing? We have to be very happy today.
Amy, moments of great joy sometimes bring a sort of reaction with them. I shall be better tomorrow.
Oh, come into the garden.
I've told the Dad flat out, and he's delighted. But Kitty, won't you regret giving up on society and all that?
And the stifling hollowness of my own Monday, and everybody's rest of the week, and having something real to think about? No, Jack, the vista is too heavenly. Come into the garden.
Shall we join them?
Oh, yes. It's a charity to leave those two people alone.
Indeed. Why?
Only a matchmaking mischief. That's all.
On Spettigue's account?
No, on Donna Lucia Dalvadores.
They've gone! Lucia, they've gone! Ah, there you are, my dear Lucia. Oh, I've longed for this moment.
Oh, he's at it again.
Lucia, I have something to say to you.
No, I'm very angry with you.
Lucia, you wound me. Don't say that.
But I do say that. After all you promised me, to treat me like this.
Promised?
The consent you promised in writing.
Lucia, how can you, when we have so much to talk about that more nearly concerns ourselves?
No, we have not. You don't know me. I'm no ordinary woman.
Lucia, I beg of you, listen to me.
I listen to you with pleasure. But where is the letter you promised me?
Will you hear me, Lucia?
I will hear you with pleasure. But where is my letter?
Lucia, do I deserve this?
No, it deserves 6 months, the old idiot.
Lucia, you're a puzzle, an enigma.
How dare you? Until you've gotten me that letter, all is over between us.
Lucia, that decides me. I shall go to my room for a brief note.
In full consent and writing, don't forget.
Then say you will be mine.
I'll say anything you like, only don't be too long in the study, okay?
Ah, darling!
That's all right. I say, what devils we women are. Why, I shall be a woman for the rest of my days. I haven't had a smoke or a drink all day. Hello. By George, here's a find. I wonder how long he'll be. hanged if I don't chance it. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
She's smoking. Oh, did you find the chili today, Auntie?
Yes, my dear. I thought I'd get a bottle sometime.
Oh, I'll go upstairs and get me something. I know where your things are.
Donna Lucia, are you alone?
Oh, yes, all alone and so sad.
Dear me, what a dreadful smell of smoke.
Yes, I noticed it myself. I'll go and look what it is.
Oh, no, don't go, Donna Lucia. You know, I wanted to talk to you.
Yes?
About your late husband, Don Pedro.
Oh, that will be nice.
You know, when I met Don Pedro, he told me he had no wife.
Oh, the wicked storyteller. But he was a cruel husband.
The Don Pedro I knew was noble, kind and gentle.
No, that was his father. The old gentleman with a white mustache, yes.
I never heard such an audacity. You know, Donna Lucia, I'm surprised you don't indulge in the habit of smoking. Many Brazilian ladies do.
Oh, well, to tell you the truth, that is exactly what I was doing when you came in.
Then pray don't let me interrupt you. Shouldn't be surprised at a pipe. Donna Lucia, pardon my curiosity. Have you any children?
Only a few, and none to speak of.
Here's your wrap, Auntie.
Thank you, my dear. I'm going in the garden. I fancy Sir Francis has something to tell me, and the air is rather chilly, so you better stay inside.
Auntie says we weren't to hint about our knowing that she's not really Auntie, but I'm sure she's only doing it to oblige them. Oh, don't go, please.
Oh, I was just going into the garden.
Oh, it's turned rather chilly outside. Auntie sent me in from the garden because of that.
Oh, could I offer you a wrap of any kind?
Oh, no, thank you. Auntie thinks I'm better here. I used to be quite ill, you know.
Oh, but I didn't know.
But I'm all right now, if I take care of
Oh,
her.
you must take great care.
Well, Auntie, I fancy, is more particular than usual this evening. For, you know, she and Sir Francis used to be sweethearts.
Were they?
Yes, but he went away before telling her that he was ever so fond of her. Auntie says he was shy, but he went away before knowing that she was ever so fond of him. But the noblest man I ever knew, he was shy, but oh, so kind. He got to know how my papa has become so poor and so ill, and he's lost quite a large sum of money to him at cards. Auntie thinks on purpose. I often wondered why they were playing cards, with Papa being so ill too. But when I asked the doctor if it wasn't doing any harm, he said, not the game that was being played. But I've got all the money now, and I intend to give it back if we ever meet again.
No, you mustn't do that. It would be like, accusing him of, sort of cheating, you know.
Oh, but it's so much. Enough, Auntie says, to make me independent for life.
And do you think if he knew that, he'd take it back?
But I should feel it my duty.
Oh, it's too late now.
Yes, it's too late. And he left before I had the chance to tell him that. Before I had the chance to tell him that I loved him for his kindness towards my poor papa. You don't mind me telling you all this, do you? I don't know. I just really like to talk to you. I like you. And I do so long to see him again. Oh, please excuse me.
Lucia!
Have you got the letter?
Yes, here is the letter, but first, make my happiness complete and say that from this blissful moment we are engaged.
We are engaged. We are engaged.
Darling!
Stephen!
Call me Stephen, I'm glad you're calling me Stephen.
Is this the letter,
Yes,
Stephen?
yes, that is the letter, and from this wonderful moment we are engaged.
We are engaged.
Ah, Sir Francis, Mrs. Beverly Smith, congratulate me, congratulate me.
I knew it.
I am the happiest man in the world, but where are the dear children? This must be a day of happiness, rejoicing for us all, for us all!
What
on earth does he mean?
What is all this excitement about?
Can't you guess?
No?
Well, didn't I tell you what would happen if we let those two alone?
Eh?
Don't you understand? She accepted him.
What?
Yes, Donna Lucia Salvadores.
You don't mean that?
I fancy he'll find out his mistake before long.
Oh, what a fool I've been.
Why? Are you sorry?
No, it's just that rascal of a boy of mine made some silly suggestion that I should.
That you should offer your hand and heart to Donna Lucia Salvadores from Brazil. Where did that come from?
When I think of what a fool I was, should have been, could have been,
Then you don't envy him.
envy him.
But think of their millions.
Ah, Lucy, when I saw your face.
You didn't recognize it.
No, but when I did, and when I told you all that in the garden just now, and you'll be content for a while with just a cottage and your old sweetheart?
And you will take me, a penniless widow?
Nothing would make me happier.
Frank!
Lucy! What? What are you smiling about?
I was simply thinking
Of?
of Donna Lucia Salvadores.
Oh, she is a quaint little figure, I must own.
Auntie, did you find the air chilly today?
I didn't notice, my dear.
You look so beautiful today, Auntie. Has Sir Francis...
Come along, dear children, come along. Amy, you sit there. Kitty there. I have something to tell you. Something which will be pleasing to all of you. But, where is Donna Lucia?
Donna Lucia's in her room, I fancy.
Ah, perhaps that is for the best. Now, before she returns, I have a little secret to tell you. I am sure you will pardon me if I asked for a moment of your time.
Good gracious, Jack! What's he going to say?
How will I know till he said it?
Situated as I am, a lonely widower, a mateless uncle, surrounded by grave responsibility, my niece and my ward, a good fairy has, I may say, tripped in among us, bringing with her unexpected light and joy.
Who does he mean?
Shut up!
Under her influence, I've consented to the engagement of my niece to a young gentleman in whose honor and probity I have no doubt, Mr. Charles Wykeham.
Oh, how dear of your sweet aunt.
Furthermore, charmed by irresistible spells, I have consented to the union of my ward to Jack, only son of my dear friends, Sir Francis Chesney. Ah, but Sir Francis, what say you of a third engagement? Our good fairy, nay, let me say without further metaphor, one whose name is as honored in the southwestern hemisphere as that of the Rothschilds are in Europe, has consented to become Mrs. Stephen Spettigue. I'm alluding, of course, to our dear friend, Donna Lucia Salvadores. What was that?
I beg pardon, sir.
Be more careful, Brassett.
Uncle.
Be more careful. Now, nothing would please me more.
I can listen to the Scotsy Farrago no longer.
Mr. Wykeham, sir, what do you mean?
I say, sir, and I do not care what the result may be, but I can...
I presume, sir, in espousing my niece.
I can't, I won't espouse her. That's woman.
Are you alluding such
I say that's woman.
I must beg of you to speak with more respect of your aunt.
She's not my aunt.
Not your aunt? What do you mean, sir?
I love Amy far too sincerely to...
Never mind that, sir. Explain your words.
Mr. Spettigue, will you allow me to...
I'm addressing this person, sir. Now explain your words.
I must tell his lordship of this.
At the last moment this morning, my aunt, on whose accompaniment invited Miss Verdun and Miss Spettigue, telegraphed to say she couldn't come. The ladies arrived, and we...
And I, sir, prevailed upon another person to well...
Personator! I've been infamously, treacherously deceived!
That was not our intention,
Don't
sir.
lie to me, sir!
I beg your pardon, sir, but you forget you were not expected.
A frump like that with a wig!
Well, you can't blame her for that.
May I come in?
Turn that woman out of my house!
I say, may I come in?
Turn that woman out of... Who are you, sir?
I am Charley's aunt from Brazil. Where the nuts come from?
Fancount Babberly, you duffer.
Fancount Babberly, I beg your pardon.
Oh, Auntie. And I've told him everything.
What is the meaning of this?
What means that we're all very sorry and offer you our tenderest apologies My apologies, I should say, for had I not offered the temptation, the whole affair would never have occurred.
And if Mr. Spettigue would allow us to add our apologies.
And say that we have no words to express our contrition.
This is infamous! Infamous! But where is the document that was obtained from me under these fraudulent pretenses?
So, the letter, I have the letter.
Give it to me.
No, it's mine!
Miss Verdun! Give it to me, I demand it.
Allow me.
I shall dispute it. Under her father's will, I shall dispute it.
This letter is addressed and has been delivered to Donna Lucia Dalvadores.
But he is not Donna Lucia Dalvadores.
Of course not. But I am.
You? Lucy.
My aunt?
You shall pardon me if I retire. As for you, sir, I shall inquire from the authorities, your college, first thing in the morning.
Charlie, can you help me out for breach of promise?
Charlie, Mr. Wykeham. I mean, how dare you? I will never forgive you. I will never forgive any of you for treating Uncle Stephen like that.
Be patient with us, my dear. Your uncle shall have the most profound reparation my influence can make. For my own part, I only shuddered in the deception when I found another lady established in my place.
No wonder she knew all about my late husband.
Well, I'm as sorry as everyone, but I do trust Jack with my life.
Indeed, Daddy must wait till I'm his mother.
Mother?
Yes, Donna Lucia, in deceiving me as much as anyone, has, however, done me the honor to recollect an old affection, and has promised to assume that authority. So, look out, Jack!
Lord Babberly, I'm afraid you've gained one confidence no one could excuse.
Yes, and I reproach myself beyond expression. But it's a confidence I wouldn't part with for my life. And if Miss Delahay will allow me to say so, I'm willing to atone for it with a lifelong devotion.
Now, where is my son?
Here, Mama.
I shall have to talk to you very seriously before I give you this letter. Charlie, I never forgive you if you deceive that sweet girl again. And as for you, sir...
No, never again. You have my word. You can have the clothes if you like. I've done with them. Miss Delahay has consented to think me over as a husband. And in future, I resign to you all claims to Charlie's aunt.
Woo!